Tex, OG, and Gator. It's time. Family, it's your big brother E-Red, and thank you for joining us for the flagship episode of Muscle and Classics. Now, you'll hear me say from time to time that we represent the sport of car enthusiasts all over the world. Muscle and Classics is the first of its kind, so when we say we're going to put you in the driver's seat, we mean exactly that. We celebrate the fact that we're a family show, and families of vehicles of all types go hand in hand. We all have at least one memory of our grandfather's favorite truck or our grandmother's favorite car, which she cherished. Well, for my family, it started with us building and racing cars and bikes with our father, Magic Man. My mother, Ma Lefty, drove a Bumblebee Scheme 1970 split bumper Camaro that laid down double posi tracks and burnout marks every time we left the grocery store. Meet Gator, the wild one, the bonehead. But despite all that, he's still the best driver out of us. Over the years, we simply chalked it up to dude was just born with gas on his chest, but he definitely can handle that wheel. Now, Uncle Earl, he's the OG of 3-speed. He has tons of road miles under his belts and the experience to match. When he was 19, he dropped a 454 in tranny into his 79 Impala in our mother's front yard. He's the one that keeps me and Gator out of trouble. As for myself, E-Red, I created Muscle and Classics. It grew out of a desire to keep the memory of our loved ones alive. As families, we gather around the table to celebrate holidays, but when it comes to our vehicles, it doesn't have to be a holiday for us to experience the same togetherness. Here on Muscle and Classics, you're going to learn how to be hands-on with your special vehicle, or as we like to call them, our 4-wheel and 2-wheel family members. This season on Muscle and Classics, we're going to introduce you to some of the top unknown automotive industry professionals who are very hands-on and who's going to teach you there's no tricks to the trade. Either you have quality or you don't. We take it one step further by giving you one-stop shop access to the industry's aftermarket performance giants with our partnership with the SEMA Data Co-op Department. Dream Auto Builders is where you can make your dreams about your vehicle come true. After a lengthy conversation, we decided that bringing you the Autocross show first would be the best thing, as it is the fastest growing form of automotive competition in America. For our family at home who's just curious about autocross, or for someone who's looking to get serious seat time, we wanted you to see the dedication that it takes to become a real autocross driver. Family, welcome to Muscle and Classics. I'm your big brother E-Red, and I'm joined by my brothers, Gator, and the OG himself, Uncle Earl. That's right. And together we are 3-Speed. Now here on Muscle and Classics, we celebrate the sport of car enthusiasts all over the world. So every episode, we're going to take you for a different ride through the automotive community. And today, it's all about autocross. That's right. Now, autocross has actually been around for a while. Started back in 1944 by the Sports Car Club of America, and even back in 1944, they had as many as 10,000 participants per event. Now, the biggest visual example of autocross today is Optimus Ultimate Streetcar Invitational, airing right here on MAB TV. That's right. Now, as autocross continues to spread across the country like wildfire, a lot of racers don't have sponsors to fund their passion for competition. So that means they have to work hard, provide for their families, and fund their passion for racing. Today, family, we are proud to introduce you to one of the country's best unknown builders and autocross racers, Dan Kaufman, owner of Poole's Mill Rods. That's right, family. So sit back, buckle up, and let's take a ride right here on Muscle and Classics.
Scene 103, take 1.
I thought we'd be on the same page about this, and we're not.
How do I know the way I'm gonna respond to it?
I want you to get the vaccine because I want you to be safe.
What if you end up in the hospital? That's what I'm scared of.
If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
I hug you.
Yes. If it made you feel that way, bro, I would probably do. I love you, man. I love you too.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
That's nice right there, man. This girl is nice. Well, family, like I promised, we are now here at Poole's Mill Rods to meet my homeboy, Dan. So let's go inside and check out the shop. Dan.
What's up, Earl?
What's going on, brother?
You are,
Good
buddy.
to see you, man. Good to see
man.
you.
Been a while.
I know it took me a minute to get up here, man, but hey,
Yeah.
I
Hey,
told you
man.
I was coming.
Life's
What you
busy,
got
brother.
going
Come
on
on in
in
the
here?
shop and check out what we got going on. Getting ready for race season here. I'm sure you're familiar with the old C10
Yes,
from
sir.
last year, man.
That's that girl, man. She's so mean.
Getting ready for some track time. We're excited about this season, man.
Yeah, man.
We're making some changes, getting her dialed in. Yeah,
She's
we're going to
beautiful,
heat up
man.
the asphalt this year.
I know how you do it, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a while, so come check out some stuff we got going on, man.
You got some beautiful stuff in here.
Yeah, thanks, man. We got some pretty exciting projects going on this year.
Hey, man. Well, hey, like I promised, my main man, Dan, now, I've been knowing Dan for a couple of years now. I had the luxury to ride around in Dan in that beautiful Chevy truck over there. But since at home you guys don't know Dan, break it down. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them what you do.
My name is Dan Kaufman. This is my shop, Poole's Mill Hot Rods. Been working on this for a long time. Been really vested into the hobby for as long as I can remember. Just kind of starting out in my parents' basement, just like any other guy that's passionate about whatever hobby you may in. At some point in time, you just kind of like took it off your own little path and started diving in and figuring things out. And not to say I was a self-taught, but
Right.
I would say predominantly yes. But definitely I had mentors along the way. A lot of influencers and mentors and coming up, but a lot of this was just cutting my own teeth and just digging deep and figuring it out, man.
Man, with the quality of work you do, that's real interesting. I was going to ask you that. That was my next question. You answered it for me, man. I mean, no training, no school training, just your pops at home with your friends, older guys that taught you around you. That's really how you got your
Really, yeah. I mean,
man?
not long after high school, I worked at a GM, a Chevy dealership.
Okay.
So I kind of busted my knuckles on the LS platform, and that's kind of what kind of, I don't know for sure, but I feel like it's kind of what, kind of like spread my name out there is just start doing a lot of LS swaps, and that was the platform I was familiar with, because when I started in, probably 99, 2000, that's when those were, new. So that was the platform I kind of like developed my skill on learning was, the LS platform. So I, kind of when I started going, just doing a lot of LS swaps, and it's just evolved a lot further and further parts of the vehicle, and now onto full builds, including LS swap.
Yeah, because I'm like, the way you do suspension on the truck, man, just to feel that suspension that I felt when we rode last year, it's like you turning on train tracks, man.
Yeah,
I mean, that thing is sharp. Yeah. So what kind of work went into just that, putting that suspension under that truck?
Well, the C10 is an off-the-shelf suspension kit from RideTech. It's just their tubular upper and lower air arms and RideTech coilovers in the front. And the rear is basically stock 69 C10 trailing arm suspension. I've done some trick stuff with moving the shocks into a different location and better angles. And other than that, the rear is nothing scientific, or it's kind of just some home engineering. And that's the fun part of that truck is there's not a lot of over-the-top custom stuff, but at the same time, you've seen yourself, it holds its own on the racetrack. Parts don't always get you to the finish line.
You got to be a good builder to do that.
And or just driver skill, and not that my skill's above or below anybody else, but if you just focus on what you have, seems a lot of people just want to buy the next part to maybe get them faster or to the next level, and not maybe focusing on what they have, and they could taking that as far as they can until they buy the next part. That they've pushed it to the limit. Now they need to upgrade whatever it may be.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's check out some other stuff, man. I like this Camaro over here. So this split bumper is beautiful, man. What's going on with this? What's up with the drivetrain in this car, man?
Actually, this is a project we just finished up for a local customer, a new customer also, just based off of a referral. It got a crate LSA, which would have come into the last generation, like Z01 Camaros, and a TR6060 manual 6-speed also that would have came out of that car.
All right, family, up next, we go under the hood of this bad 1970 split bumper Camaro, and you don't want to miss us take it out for a spin. We'll be right back.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Boot Camp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
So this split bumper is beautiful, man. What's going on with this? What's up with the drivetrain in this car, man?
We did a little bit of custom fabrication on it, and one of the aspects I wanted to maintain was all the factory pulley system on it. So, if the customer needs a new belt, he can go get one for a Z01 Camaro. It's not a crazy setup. You don't know the belt number. So we did some subframe modifications to accommodate the AC compressor and the alternator to main them down in the stock location. We did an off-the-shelf Brian Tooley positive displacement stage 3 cam. It's got a Metco smaller pulley on the supercharger, 2.4 pulley. So this thing really, it pumps out the heat, man. It's pretty intense. So it's actually here. It came by for some, just some kind of small maintenance issue, not issues, but just some small maintenance. You know, the customers put about 5,000 miles on the car, so we're gonna, you know, do a lubricant change and just some small maintenance items. So, matter of fact, if you want to throw me a quarter-inch ratchet over there,
man,
Earl, we'll see if we can get this thing figured out real quick, man.
You go, brother.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, man. So, I know this thing will put out some power. So, what kind of horses are we looking at on this?
Offhand on this car, I want to say it made low 8s. Yeah, and for the size tire that's actually on this car, it's a pretty sketchy drive, man. Yeah, so that's an issue that we're going to address later this summer on this car too. He's going to come back with mini tubs, wide tires.
Oh, put some more meat on it, huh?
Yeah, put some more meat, get some more traction to the ground.
Wow.
It likes to skate around the asphalt as is right now.
Yeah, I see.
Got a lot of.
With that many horses, man.
Right, yeah.
You know, I look at it now, so many builders are taking on autocross as a hobby.
Yeah.
And you know, that's why I met you at on the autocross track.
Right, right.
So, between making sure all your clients get serviced, all the projects you got going on in here, man, I mean, where do you find time to race?
It's tough, man. It's tough. We actually had to scale down a lot of the events that we go to because we've gotten so busy here recently, which is a great blessing for us. But at the same time, you got to make sacrifices. So we, you know, unfortunately, we don't get to do as much track time as we'd like to. But you know, we're you know, trying to build what we love to do, which is working on the hot rods.
Like
you know,
so war, huh?
It is,
like
man. It's tough. So
well, I mean, one thing I learned about you right away is you like from that old school. Not only do you know how to build, you know how to work on your cars, you also know how to drive them. That's the first thing I found out about how good of a driver you were.
Well, I appreciate it, man. But you know, yeah, it means a lot to come from somebody that just sees from the sideline and can comb through a crowd of people racing and highlight on somebody that they think is a good driver. You
Absolutely,
know? So,
man.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
Well, nah, brother, I respect the skill.
Man.
I respect the skill set. I do, man. If I could handle the wheel like that, I'd probably be in too much trouble. That's what keep our other brother in trouble. This dude ain't got no license now, driving crazy.
Are you ready for a ride?
Yes, sir. You know me.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm always ready for a good ride. You know, I'm still trying to learn how to drive autocross, man. I gotta come to your school one weekend where you can take a break. But you can take a break from fixing everybody's car. Everybody know we coming down the street of this one, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Ooh, this girl sounds good, man. You just made up. But we know this here, Will. It's got to be one of your proudest bills, man.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
And just to have a regular floor of customers, man, that trust in what somebody doing, because these are like babies to us, man. Once they get outside the house, it's like a baby to us. You can't see it every day. You don't know what's going on with it.
And then to make somebody feel comfortable enough to lend you their car,
Yes.
you know, I mean.
Yes.
It's a big deal, you know, like you got your Chevelle, man.
Yeah.
You just throw the keys to somebody.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do.
That's an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, very uncomfortable feeling, man. Very uncomfortable feeling. But, you know, a lot of these turnaround times at places is be what kill you.
Oh, years and years,
yeah, man.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually they get upside down in the money situation.
Yeah.
And they have to figure out how to get Paul's money back from Peter.
Yeah. Yeah. A guy named Mr. Collier, he told me, he was like, make sure when you start buying a bunch of cars, if you're going to work on one car and get finished with that car.
Right.
Then buy you something else. If you buy that car and then if you buy another car and you still haven't finished the first one, it's just not going to be what you're looking for. Coming up, Dan breaks down this beautiful truck he's going to take out to the course. And later in the show, my older brother goes inside with Derek from the Poole Raj family.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
All right, now, you know this is my favorite girl in the whole garage, man. Now, without telling me too much, because I know you do your thing. Every builder got their own little touches and, you know, secret things they do. Without telling me too much, what did you do to get her ready for the upcoming season?
Well, really, Earl, this truck, I mean, as you've seen, you've rode it around the track a couple times. For what it is, it's not the most competitive truck on in the series.
I beg to differ, but I know.
But
okay.
it works really well, so I don't really change a whole lot. You know, I might change the alignment a little bit based on something that I wasn't pleased with last season. I will change back to the more aggressive pads, the brake pads that I use on the track. And change some bump stops, a little softer bump stop this season. But other than that, man, it works really well, and I don't have a whole lot to really work on, man. Just kind of nut and bolt it and check everything, fluids, bolts, and it's ready.
Yes,
ready to hit
it
the
does,
track, man.
This thing turns on a dime. I mean, and when I first saw it, this what blew my mind. When you walk up to this truck and you look under the
engine bay,
you don't see nothing but the engine.
Yeah.
And it's so nice and neat, like you can have a meal off of it.
Well, I pride myself in a lot of, like, you know, aesthetic things like hiding wiring. You know, nobody likes to pop an engine bay, especially on a late model drivetrain OS, and just have gobs of wiring all over the place. And, you know, I like to make sure, you know, it still works, and you can still work on it. Things are accessible, but at the same time, it's all there, you know. But, you know, if you just take a little bit of time with aesthetics, and you can really dress one up and make it look clean.
Well, just remember being in this one got my blood racing, so.
Yeah.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. I'm here with my main man, Derek. What's up, brother?
Nice to see you, Earl.
Hey,
How
nice
you doing
to
today?
see you again,
Yes,
too,
sir.
man. I remember you from last year out there cutting up the track.
Yeah. We didn't hit anything, right?
No, man, hey, but you putting in some good times, man. So you've been here how long helping Dan in the shop, man? And, you know, I want you to basically just tell my audience at home, man, how long have you been building and how long have you been driving? Because you cover the gamut yourself, man.
Yeah, it's been, you know, don't feel that old. You know, I guess I am at this point, though. You got to think back and you start going, how long have I been doing this? Wow. But I actually met Dan back in the early 2000s, and it was cars that brought us together. So back in the day, we were into mini trucking and doing 4 links and air ride, and that's how we met. And basically, when you meet a like-minded individual, you know, like us, we get together and we communicate. We were in the same hometown, and we just started sharing ideas and working together. And when you work with somebody that, you know, is as passionate as you are, or when you work with somebody that cares about quality and doing it the right way, that's the kind of people you want to be with. That's the kind of people that you stick around with. So we've just been great friends over the years, and, you know, I've seen him grow in the industry and all the work that he's doing now. It's just incredible to see that. It's incredible to see the industry grow like it has.
Yeah, it really is.
I grew up in a hot rodding family. My dad's been restoring cars, so as soon as I was old enough to hold a wrench, I was.
It's in your blood.
Oh yeah, I always tell everybody, I remember riding the car shows in the back of a rumble seat in an old Ford. You know, it still had,
rumble seat, they don't know about that.
No, nobody knows about that anymore. But I grew up, you know, going to car shows, and he had a shop, and I've just been in it, and it's been in my blood. And you know, ever since we were old enough to drive, we've been customizing everything.
Wow.
And I can't leave anything stock. It's like a disease or a sickness. It's just, can't leave anything alone ever.
It's a gift, man.
It's got to be customized.
It's a gift, man. You guys are like the 1 percentile of the country can do what you guys do, man.
Right.
So this beautiful 57 3100, one of my favorite trucks.
Absolutely.
What you got in this girl, man?
So this here, this was actually a barn find from Athens, Georgia. The owner is just a really good guy, and he's got quite a few hot rods, and he's got a big history of hot rodding. And he's just a great person, and he's put together a really cool ride, and he's let Dan and us kind of take it and run with it and say, how would you build it? What would you do? Here's the truck, just roll with it. So basically started out with a Scott's Hot Rods chassis, which is just a really clean, really nice setup. So that puts the coilover suspension in the Lynx rear end. Basically, the drivetrain as it is a LS7. It's a dry sump. This thing is going to be absolutely wicked.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
This beautiful 57 3100, one of my favorite trucks.
Absolutely.
What you got in this girl, man?
We've got a T56 6-speed in it, so it's gonna be a wild ride.
This thing gonna skate, man. This thing is gonna skate, man.
Absolutely.
Y'all do such a beautiful job, man. Just, you cannot see wires when you walk up to the engines, man. That's what drives me. Where y'all hit everything in?
It's a pet peeve. I mean, if you can hide it, we're gonna hide it.
Yeah.
It's just because you've got to put the thought and you put the extra effort in to come with this product or whatever you want to call it. That it comes out and people say that, you know, they're going, "Wow, this is amazing. How'd you do that? How'd you?" And it's just, you put the extra effort in and you hide it and you go the extra mile to make this as clean as possible, because the eye picks that up. You know, when you look at something, an engine bay, and you go, I just don't feel it. It just kind of looks dirty, or it just doesn't look clean. But, you know, when it comes together, if it comes out of this shop, as you can see, all the builds, they're going to be absolutely clean.
Yes, sir.
And people pick it up, and they really notice how much better that the aesthetics are. at that point.
Even down to the radiator, man. Where'd you guys get this piece from?
This radiator is actually an Autorad. It's
Okay.
a local gentleman that's in Gainesville, Georgia.
Okay.
He is a terrific fabricator, and he does packages for all makes and models. So Camaros, trucks, Chevelles. This is basically it's a one-piece core support that has the integrated new multiple chamber aluminum radiator. You get the AC condenser that it fits in, and everything just fits perfect nice. All your front clip just bolts back to it in a perfect manner.
It looks like
It's
it was
solid,
made to go there.
and it's beautiful. And he does a jam-up job, and we love supporting our local vendors
absolutely.
and just the local community itself. So anytime that there's a build that can be involved with one of these Autorads, we've done 10 of them.
Wow.
So, and they all fit perfect. They bolt in, no headaches.
Wow.
You're rocking and rolling.
Well, with you guys doing so much work, because you got the garage full right now, so with you guys doing so much work, have you pinpointed yet one vehicle, car, truck, don't matter, just off the top of your head to say, okay, that was my favorite build to work on?
This is my favorite
Yes,
build to work
sir.
on.
This would be mine. This would be mine.
The Camaro's tough because that's an absolute animal.
Yes,
but
sir.
this truck is just, the cool factor's there.
Yeah.
You've got your patina, you got your original paint. It kind of has that farm truck feel. We've got the American racing wheels that have that kind of stockish look, but they're oversized and widened, and they're huge, and they're just really cool.
Yeah.
Then you go in here and you've got dry sump LS7, with gobs of power and manual transmission. This thing is just going to be an absolute beast, and you can have fun driving it.
Yeah, see, it's good to know good people, especially great mechanics, man, because I'm trying to get behind the wheel of this truck. I really am. I'm trying to get these guys to show me how to drive autocross, But, hey, man, as a pleasure. Appreciate you taking some time with us, man. Hey, man,
Nice to meet you.
it's always good to see y'all, man. We always have a good time, and y'all always teach me something new. That's the beautiful part about it. You're never too old to learn.
All right, family, this is the Gator, and right now, you're tuned into the Safety Corner. Every episode, we're gonna cover the do's and don'ts. So today, it's all about autocross. First, we start with the do's. Do make sure that your car is up to spec. So if you need an oil change, if you need plugs and wires, whatever kind of simple maintenance you need before you take your car to the track, you wanna make sure you get that done. Number two, do. And I say this from a safety standpoint and simply common sense. Do go buy you some new tires for your car and make sure that they're rated to fit your car. So for instance, if you have a small car, make sure you buy tires rated for a small car. Autocross approved tires rated for a small car. There are several companies out there that build tires for these cars like BF Goodwrench, Bridgestone, Continental, Dunlap, just to name a few. So make sure you take care of that before you take your car out to the autocross track. 3, do find a local autocross group in your area to register with. That's very important. 4, do learn and understand the positioning of the cones on the course. Every cone on the course is not just standing there to keep you in line, it's there for a reason. 5, do figure out the class that your vehicle is registered in. You can do this by contacting the local autocross group in your area. It's always the smartest thing to do. Their rules are normally similar to the rules from the SCCA, and they're normally national rules. All right, family, when we come back, more Muscle and Classics.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
All right, family, this is the Gator, and right now, you tune into the Safety Corner. Every episode, we're gonna cover the do's and don'ts. So today, it's all about autocross. Let's cover the don'ts, all right? First, number one, don't be too proud to let an instructor help you. An instructor is there for one reason, not to tell you you can't drive, but to help you perform better on the course, all right? 2, don't get stressed out. Make sure you relax and, kind of be in a laid-back mode and mentally be together before you get behind the wheel. 3, don't be a bad representative of the sport. Clean up behind yourself. You don't want to draw unnecessary attention or behave in a disorderly way because other drivers might be preparing to make their first run. 4, don't do burnouts on the autocross track or when you leave the autocross track, all right? 5, don't shy away from whatever jobs, once you register with your local group, they might have you do at the track. All right, family, and that'll do it. Those are the do's and don'ts for this week's Safety Corner. Now, before Dan and Gator go and get on the autocross course, we want to take you inside the 6th annual Summit Motorama held at the Atlanta Motor Speedway to point you to the right brands to help get your vehicle together in case you're thinking about getting into autocross. All right, families, we're here at the Woodward booth, and I'm here with Mr. Chris Tibbett. How you doing, Chris?
Doing very good, thank you.
I see you guys at this event annually. So what's going on with you guys at the Summit this year? Tell us a little bit about it.
Coming out to support Summit Racing. The Atlanta event, all of the Summit events are extremely popular. Population at this one is, I think, better than last year so far.
Yes, so far.
We're halfway into the first day, and we're busy.
As always, man, y'all always busy. Y'all the top brake company in the business, man.
Yes, sir.
So what do you guys have new for us this year?
Well, new this year would be our TX6R kit for the big GM Ford 2500, 3500 trucks. We're seeing a need for the truck market. The truck market's expanding really well. So we're seeing a need for improved braking. Not only are these guys fixing up the trucks themselves, but they're towing their show vehicles or off-road vehicles or whatever they may be. So we took the initiative to step up and produce those kits.
Always ahead of the game, man. Always ahead of the game. Wow. Okay, so for the general person who may not know at home that's looking at all these different size calibers and brakes, so I have a 72 Chevelle. That's my baby. Her name's Candy. So I need to put the whole brake system around it because she's strictly original. I hadn't done no upgrades, not changed anything. So going with that, and I want more like a Pro Touring. I do know I want Pro Touring. So what kind of system would I go with to put on her?
Well, the first question, and you answered it.
Okay.
You said it's stock, it hasn't been changed.
Right.
Up front, we go off of the spindle. Spindle only. Okay. Out back, we go off of flange and offset. So the flange being the end of the axle tube. Okay. The offset being the distance from the outside face of the axle. Flange to the outside face of the axle. Okay. Okay. I got you. If we don't get that right offset, then that caliper's not going to fit over that rotor. Wow. So those are the two things we need. So your stock right now, was that car a drum spindle or a disc spindle?
Drum spindle.
Drum spindle, so we need to do that, or need to know that.
Right.
So we would plug in your make and model, and the kits would come up with the largest wheel size first, generally being an 18 or maybe a 19.
Okay.
Okay, then we're going to work that into your wheel fitment, the wheel that you're going to use. Okay. So most Pro Touring 17-inch wheels is very popular. Right. Some guys are using 18s. So we would probably put you on a 17-inch wheel, probably put you onto a 12.88 diameter rotor.
Okay.
In some cases, it could jump up a little bit, depending again on that 18-inch wheel if you're going to use it. Out back, we can match it again based on flange and offset.
Okay.
Pro Touring's very popular these days, and it's an ever-growing deal because everything's changing.
Right.
A lot of the guys are going with floating rear ends out back to prevent the knockback, and they're going hard into those corners and so forth. So that would cover the kits, but then we'd have to get into master cylinders as well. So, and pedal ratios, if you're going to run any kind of power assist or if you're going to run a manual setup. Folks are running both. Majority of the people will run a manual setup.
Okay.
So there's some homework to be done.
I see.
And
it's not just as simple as you might think it is, huh?
That's true.
But that's why you guys are leading. That's why you got the leading brake company out here. So where can everybody at home follow you guys online so they can check out more of your products?
www.willwood.com.
That's right. Well, hey, thank you again, Chris. It was a pleasure, man. Thank you for breaking this down for us, and I'm gonna be putting in the order here real soon.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
We are at the vendor pool, and I'm here with Mr. Bobby Wrightsman with Harley, long-time experience, man. So tell us what you got going on here this year at the Motorama this year for you guys.
Well, we definitely, first off, appreciate Summit Racing inviting us to the Motorama here in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
We've got, Holley offers quite a number of products, you know, through our brands. Not only do we have Holley, we've got MSD, NOS, Wyand, Hurst, Flowmaster, and many more brands, you know, through our line.
Wow.
And basically what we're trying to do here today is just show a little bit of everything that we have to offer.
That's awesome. You guys got one of the biggest setup areas, and I notice it every year because I'm here every year, man. So what product-wise do you guys have new coming to the market with all the brands you have?
I would say one of the hottest items that we've got out now is our add-on Sniper fuel injection. I mean, we've got 2 barrels, we've got 4-barrel systems. We handle anywhere from the small Jeep applications. We've got our street applications, Sniper units that'll handle anywhere from 250 up to about 650 horse. And then we've got our larger Dominators, they're like 1475 CFM for dragsters.
Oh, that's
so.
Nice,
and then not only do we have that, then we've got 2x4 applications. So fuel injection is probably one of the biggest growing items that Holley has right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Where can they find you guys online?
Just go to holly.com, www.holly.com, and on there you can actually link to any of our other brands that Holly offers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, hey, thank you, Bob. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
You can't be at the Summit Motorama without talking to a Summit representative. I'm here with Jim Greenleaf, the man. Now, what do you do at Summit so people can kind of familiarize themselves with you?
I'm our motorsports event manager.
Okay.
So we're out doing shows like this all over the country, from the winter shows and the Autoramas, to these outdoor shows, drag racing, dirt car racing. We've got it going on everywhere.
So some of you should be familiar with this face because he's all over the country all year. Never home, huh?
Not much.
So tell us what's new with the 6th annual season of Summit Motorama.
Yeah, we're just excited to be here for the 6th year. It's built up over the years.
Right.
Finally got a good weekend, man. We got a home run for weather. We can't ask for anything better than this. We've got 100 vendors in here talking to people, helping them out with their projects. Right. We've got the Bigfoot truck out there, making the passes, making some noise. We actually had Tim Wilkerson's fuel altered out there. So
okay.
You guys got to see that thing.
Yeah, I think we got some shots of it. Yeah.
Some noise, but having some fun. The guys get ready to do a car cruise around the track here at the end of the day. So just a ton of stuff going on here for everyone.
Well, everybody Summit's a big name in the industry, and you guys are always stepping it up with your products. And just like we look around here, and I still see tons of things I've never seen because we always order in rims or car parts. So what do you guys have new going on as far as your line of production that you're offering this year you haven't offered?
As far as anything specific, we got over 1,600 lines now.
Wow.
We're constantly adding new parts. So really, the catalog's great, but it's just the tip of the iceberg for what we carry.
Okay.
Check us out online. Almost every week there's new stuff being added.
All right. Well, tell the fans where they can find you guys. How easy can they follow you on social media, or where to just get on the shop?
Yeah, you can find us on social media with Facebook, Instagram, all the big ones. Okay. And then obviously summitracing.com. Check us out. Download the app. We got what you need.
All right. Well, you guys make sure he's all over the country this year, and I'm sure you'll see him. So make sure you go up and put your orders in. We'll be right back.
Now here on Muscle and Classics, we celebrate the sport of car enthusiasts all over the world. And we would like to invite you to Muscle and Classics Apparel. Now we pride ourselves on being a family show, so we have gear options for every member of the family. And don't forget, make sure to take a picture in your Muscle and Classics gear and tag us. Log on to muscleandclassics.live or click the QR code below.
That's how you drive a beauty, baby.
Scene 103, take 1.
I thought we'd be on the same page about this, and we're not.
How do I know the way I'm going to respond to it?
I want you to get the vaccine because I want you to be safe.
What if you end up in the hospital? That's what I'm scared of.
If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
Can I hug you?
Yeah. If it made you feel that way, bro, I would probably do. I love you. I love you too.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Alright fam, welcome back to Muscle and Classics, and you are now rolling with the Gator. So let's sit back and check out some of the sights and the sounds of the BF Goodwrench Autocross series. Now, if you've been to an autocross event before, then you somewhat know what to expect. But if you've never been to an autocross event, we're going to show you what it's all about. You may have noticed that there are some pro-level autocross cars and trucks here, but there's also a lot of daily driver type cars as well. And these drivers are considered the novice class. The novice class is for beginners, and I strongly recommend it if you've never tried autocross before, that you register as a novice. And family, listen to me when I say, there is no shame in registering as a novice. We've all had to start somewhere. Now, one of the most commonly asked questions is, how will I know when I'm ready to move out of the novice class? And that answer is pretty simple. The more you get to know your vehicle and get comfortable with the different courses you may run on, you'll start to notice that you're shaving time off your laps, which means you're getting better. And you'll also find yourself wanting to register for other classes. Now, you will notice that there are tons of eyes on you from spectators and also other drivers who are thinking about getting into autocross, who just really came out to see what it looks like for themselves. As you'll see coming up, Dan is a pro. Not only is Dan one of the best restoration and resto mod builders in the country, but he also does a little stunt driving on the side. But don't tell him I told you that. Now, Dan has been nice enough to let me ride shotgun on his laps today. So let's go over to the course and talk to Dan before we get ready to make a run on the course. All right, family, it's race day. You seen the truck inside the garage? We don't talk to Dan. See how I get down. So Dan, tell us what it's like on race day, man. What you do? What you get to do to prepare yourself? Is it any kind of ritual you go through? What?
Nothing specific, man. We just kind of nut and bolt the truck, go over it, check tire pressures, man, make sure everything's good to go from last year, and we just hit the ground running, buddy.
That's what's up.
We don't get too scientific about it. Just have a good time, man.
Put the pedal to the metal.
Pedal down and let's go.
Hey, well, sit back, buckle up, and let's go. Sir, that was a good run. I know you might not be everywhere, but I love that shit.
That was a fun run.
That was a fast run, Dan.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all come help me close the door. E!
Man, what is he yelling about? Man, I have no idea.
But family, check out what's coming up this season on Muscle and Classics. Family, welcome to Muscle and Classics. And together we are 3 Speed.
She's got to change, yeah.
Now, Make sure you continue to stay tuned in to Muscle and Classics as we bring you female pro stock motorcycle drag racing.
Speed. You know what I'm saying? So look, I notice a lot of times when you get up there, when you get in the burnout box, when you put on your helmet, it's like you go into a whole nother focus.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
What is that like? Explain that to us, because it's like you're going through a transformation, like from the time you put on that helmet till you get up to the line, man.
It took me a while to get where I am now because I used to battle a lot with like that mental toughness to focus really on what I'm doing without the nerves, right? So now it's just natural. It's just like, okay, do what you gotta do, cut the light, the bike is gonna do what it needs to do.
Young and up-and-coming drivers like Bailey North.
I mean, your dad has been a driver all his life. It's in your DNA. So what's been the hardest adjustment from not mashing the throttle fully to the floor? What's been the hardest adjustment you have to keep yourself? You want to do this, but I can't right now. What's been the hardest adjustment?
My line. Because, like, I get kind of freaked out because I'm like, okay, I need to try this to make me go faster. I'm like, what if I just wreck? But then I was like, we're just gonna do it. And so I did it and I saw it worked really well, like my dad said, because he was like, just do it, nothing will go wrong, you'll like it. And so I did it, and ever since then, I just gotten used to my line. We still have some like corners to fix, but it's getting a lot better than it used to be.
And some of the best drag racers on 4 wheels in the state of Georgia, baby, that's right.
Is it a bug? Is it a spark? Because every driver is not made the same.
Yeah, and it shows up. I mean, I know that there's been studies done to try to determine, well, you know, what's the difference in the makeup of a driver that is real competitive and wins races and seems to not get in a lot of jams, you know, with wrecking and tearing up equipment versus one that is not that competitive. I think a lot of it is in the desire, in how bad do you want it.
And I hope you enjoyed all the new music, because there's a lot more to come.
Next episode, we going to Vegas.
That's right.
We going to Vegas, family. Get ready. All right, family. We're still covering that SEMA 2019. We're in Las Vegas, and there's no way that I could be in Las Vegas without coming to speak with one of my idols, man, Mr. Steve Darnell.
Right on.
Yes, sir,
appreciate
brother. It's
that.
a pleasure. The legendary, living legend, Mr. John Force himself.
I think this show was named after your show.
Muscle and Classics?
Yeah, because they're all muscle and I'm classic. See? And we love your show.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Now, you know, me and my brothers, who won't come help me at the moment, we're full-time gearheads. So make sure you check out our personal website, dreamautobuilders.com. You can go there and do anything to your car you like. Tell them 3-Speed sent you. Now, as always in parting, we thank you for joining us. Keep God first and keep it in your own lane. Take care. Y'all come on!